Hey guys, welcome back to XDA. Today we're going to talk about the Moto E 2015. This is the LTE variant of the device that I did the review for you guys here not that long ago. We're going to unlock the bootloader, we're going to root the device, install TWRP, and also check out a new kernel that's been released for the device. So let's go ahead and dive in. Okay, so the process is pretty simple from the sense of what we need to do, but we need to prep for some of these things. So first thing we want to do obviously is on our device, reboot into bootloader mode. And that is achieved by just turning off the device using volume down and power on the device. And then it will give you the ability of getting into the bootloader. You just plug in your cable as you see here on the device, and you'll get that screen on the device. Again, the process I'm going with you guys today is specifically for the Moto E LTE 2015. This may not work exactly the same on the 3G model, so please check the forum for your device if you have that. I don't have the 3G model, so I don't have the ability of testing it for that process. So the other thing we want to do is download the recovery. So I'll show you guys here. This is the recovery. I just renamed it to say recovery.image. I also downloaded the Squid kernel, which is a custom kernel we're going to be able to flash on our device. I also downloaded the stock kernel in case I just want to revert back, and then an updated SuperSU file, and we're going to go through the process here just to basically kind of install it in TWRP once we're done. First and foremost, we need to start with is unlocking our bootloader. So fair warning here, bootloader unlocking will wipe the device clean. Internal storage, everything. There's nothing that's left on the device. So before you take this step, please back up your data off your device. If it's done when it's brand new, you probably don't have anything on it yet. But if you've had the device for a few weeks or some days, this is something you want to do. So first thing I did end up basically rebooting the device into the bootloader mode, as you guys see here. And I went ahead and downloaded my ADB device drivers. So I have just a minimal ADB drivers, which essentially is ADB and Fastboot. I don't need everything. And all my files are in the same location. So without further ado, you open up a command prompt and then you just type in the command. It's a simple unlocking command. You go in and you type in fastboot OEM get underscore unlock underscore data. And what this will return to you is this entire string with the word bootloader and OK and all of that information. The only thing you need to copy is essentially those sequence of numbers, and once you have those, basically just copy it and go directly to the Motorola website where you normally would be able to basically unlock it. So if you do a search, but I'll give you guys a link, and you paste that link entirely, or that information all entirely in here, removing all spaces, so it ends up being one straight line as they describe here in the picture. And then you click the box and it says, can my device be unlocked? And more than likely, if you have a carrier device, you may not be able to. You need to check this here. But if it is unlockable, since mine was purchased directly from Motorola, it does give me the option right here at the bottom. It says agree and request unlock key. I'll go ahead and click that. And as you can see here, I did receive my unlock code directly from them. It's within an email, and it basically just tells me the process of how to do this. So we're going to go ahead and switch back to the main page, and I'll open up my terminal. I'm still within the actual process, so this is when I pulled up the string. I'm just going to type in Fastboot OEM unlock space, and then this is, we have to right click and say paste. This is the key that we just received, and again it's outlined here, so we get that there. And once we hit that, you'll notice here on the area it says device is unlocked. It's used to be red, it says device is locked. So at this point we're pretty much done. So at this point we're going to go here, and this is, I'm going to show you guys the areas again exactly where you want to go in to be able to basically go in. So I'm just going to say this is the command itself. It's very simple. It's fastboot flash recovery and then recovery.image. It's pretty simple, and as long as you have the files in the same directory, which is what I have in this folder, again I already have the recovery image, this will flash the custom recovery on our device. And again, it's pretty much done. And now we get the error message on the device saying that our device is unlocked. And what you can see on the right side actually now is that the actual device is going directly into TWRP. And that's one of the beauty things. So at this point we have TWRP installed on our device. It is booting, and we are in it. So the first thing we're going to do obviously is we're going to reboot the device, and we need to sideload our files now so that we'll be able to actually flash them using TWRP. The installation process of actually what we have right now is pretty much 90% done. So we're going to go ahead and restart the device. And as you notice here in the process, it's asking me here that since the device does not seem to be rooted, it's going to go through and root it for me. So I'm going to say yes. As the device is rebooting right now, you'll notice that there's one little thing that kind of comes up here. There is a process, and I'll give you guys access, a link to it in the description, on how to remove the screen of unlock device or unlock bootloader. So that's not an issue. It's something that you can get rid of at a later time, since the device is unlocked. Motorola finds or deems it required to actually kind of put that in front of you. The first boot after you unlock a device, being that it is a wiped device now, it takes a little bit longer, so we're going to wait for the system to come back, and we'll get into that. Okay, we're able to log into the device. The device right now here is connected to media. Secure your phone. I'm not going to worry about it. I don't need this. And to install Super User on the device, tap to finish it up. And then we're going to say using TWRP. And then we're going to say continue. It's going to reboot our device. It's going to take us back into the TWRP recovery. Again, I'll walk you guys through the process of removing this, and it's going to go ahead and flash and unlock our device, and actually root our device. So turn it on. Sure enough, we have Super User installed. I already followed Chainfire. I'll go ahead and say no thanks. Turn off the device, and we're going to actually go into recovery right now. We'll go back one more time into recovery so that we can fix the bootloader issue. So the last thing we're going to do here is we need to go back, wait for the device to turn off. We're going to boot up into recovery again, power down and volume down. Power and volume down. At this point, we're going to go in and we're going to basically flash one more file, and this is essentially the boot logo, which is going to remove that little annoying message that we have. So we already have a process here. I'm just going to type in the command here, show you guys. It's called fastboot flash logo.logo.bin. I'll give you guys a link in the description. Oh, sorry, take that back. And then now we'll go ahead and flash it. It's done. And then from the recovery, just go to install. All the way down to the bottom. Here's the squid kernel that we downloaded, R5 as the version, and just confirm it. And we're done. We'll just say reboot system. We'll give it a second for it to finish booting up, and then that should be the end of the process for us. We will have root, custom kernel, and as well as the ability to actually use our camera, and the system still runs on stock. So we're not installing a custom ROM today. We're basically just keeping it as stock as possible. We'll check. Yep, still running. And go ahead and turn on the camera. This is just asking us, since we did the ADB debugging. And then you can notice here that the camera is working. It's giving us access to the gallery. There's obviously nothing here. I'll just go ahead and take a picture. This is a video, actually, I just realized. And I think it still wants me to go through the setting options. Okay, then the camera goes in here. So you saw the process. It's not that hard. It just takes a little bit of patience and some time. So at this point, we have an unlocked Moto E 2015 LTE. We have a custom kernel installed. We installed TWRP, of course, in the process, and then rooted the device. The root process is pretty simple. You just have to install a Super US installation either manually or wait to do it through the TWRP recovery. If you go straight into the TWRP recovery, when you first install the TWRP recovery, it'll ask you if you want to root the system if you don't have it rooted. And then overall, it's pretty simple. And again, we can also remove that annoying bootloader is unlocked message that we get from Motorola right now on our system once you unlock the bootloader. And then you can go back into a stock look and really nice and feel on the system. The kernel does get updated, so please check the description, and I'll give you guys a link to the thread. You can download updated versions of the kernel. The developer is definitely making sure there's a version available for the CDMA as well as the LTE version of the device. Again, this process is for the Moto E 2015 LTE model, not the 3G. Please be specifically aware of that. Those two are not exactly the same, even though you'd think they would be the same except for the radio for the LTE. Again, hopefully you guys like this. The camera does work, the process does work on here, and I'm glad that we finally have a process that doesn't break the camera. That was one of my biggest worries and one of the reasons why the video took a long time for us to put together. As usual, like and subscribe to this channel, like and subscribe to my channel, and again, I'll see you guys soon.